Live from right here in my home, the 92nd Annual Academy Awards.
And the award for Best Review goes to Leland Schutzenheimer. Come on down, Leland.
This is Leland's 334th nomination and first win. Leland is also nominated for Best Sound Effects in the Wilhelm category.
Oh my gosh, guys. I cannot believe I've won this award. I don't even know what to say. I've written a speech. First, I'd like to thank everyone who helped me get here today. Even though I couldn't remember your names, so I had to write them down. I'd like to thank my mom, and my brother, and my sister, and my aunt, and my uncle, and my cousins. I'd like to thank my mama and my papa. I'd also like to thank Josie, Frank, Jim, Bob, John, and the Renner sisters. You guys know how much I love you. I also have thanks for Katie, Don, Kim, Cal, Corey, Allison, John, George, Bill, Chris, Robert, Mark, Tom, Benedict, Scarlett, Chadwick, Dave, Vin, Bradley, Palm, Chris, Jeremy, Don, Paul, Bree, Karen, Zoe, Evangeline, Tessa, Elizabeth, Anthony, Sebastian, and Haley. Especially, I'd like to thank Cauliflower. But most of all, I'd like to thank R&R Reviews. You have shown me so much, especially everything not to do with the movie review page. I've seen what mistakes can be made through you, and just how terrible it can be. And that is why I am able to make my page so good. Thanks to R&R Review's social accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube that you can visit as well, I've been able to see every step of the way and know how to always be better than them. Now, I'd like to say a few words about my trendy social cause that I only care about when I win awards. And even though I could support it with the millions I've made solely, I don't want to. So I'm going to ask people of lower means to do it for me.
Sorry, that's all the time we have. And here to announce the award for Best Supporting Llama is the talentless David Spade and the rather large John Goodman.
Welcome to the Cinema Club.
R&R Reviews.
Welcome back to R&R Reviews, where we only make bold moves, Cotton. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's because you love movies or because you know us and feel obligated to listen. We appreciate your pity. As always, our review will be spoiler-free. What a surprise, huh? Today, we want to talk about the 4-time Oscar-winning film, including being the first ever foreign film to win Best Picture, co-written and directed by Bong Joon-ho, Parasite. It's a film that is hard to put into a specific genre. It hits so many different times and feels throughout you can't quite place it. You certainly can't place it in one category. We went into this film with no idea what the plot was actually about, and it seems that's the best way to encounter this piece of cinema. It gave the story a chance to happen naturally while keeping us guessing. Our plot follows a poverty-stricken family living in South Korea, simply trying to make ends meet. Desperate for work, they con their way into a wealthy family, but little do they know where this chain of events will lead to. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Parasites. Giant parasites. Coming out of the sewer, coming out of the water, coming out of the air, and well, you're completely right. This is definitely a horror movie, and if it wasn't, why else would we have a name for the movie like Parasite? And the preview poster have those creepy black lines all over everyone's eyes. And yes, everything I said since Giant Parasites was not accurate. Or was it? I guess you'll never know unless you watch it. The story seems simple enough, and as always, the key is not the content of the story, but how the story's being told. Bong proves himself. Should I call him Bong? Or does he go by June? Or Mr. Ho, maybe? What does he prefer to be called? Maybe just say his whole name every time? Bong Joon-ho proves himself quite the storyteller with twists and turns as this film slowly progresses through layer after layer. developing kind of like an onion. Ogres are like onions and stories. Now I know what you're thinking, why not use cakes for a better example? Or parfaits maybe, considering parfaits may be the best food on the whole dang planet? Well, I'll tell you that it's not, because when you leave ogres and stories out in the sun, they start sprouting little white hairs. So as you probably already know, this film, being South Korean, is completely spoken in South Korean.
Oh, wow.
So it takes a minute to get into it, but literally only a minute. Once you settle in, you begin to see that the dialogue here is very clever. I'll say this, don't skip out on this film just because you have to read it all. If you can't enjoy the film because you have to read subtitles instead of hearing it while you look at your phone, well then you shouldn't be watching it anyways, nor should you be watching any movie, because, well, I hate to tell you, you're watching movies oh so wrong. Never half but two things, only whole but one thing. Not to mention, let's appreciate the fact that we have a fantastic film from another country and culture that we can learn about to make ourselves better humans. Now, as we can see from his previous work, the movie Snowpiercer and the movie Okja, Bong Joon-ho is a bit of an activist, especially when it comes to climate change, which this film shadows heavily. It has many, and I mean many, sub-narratives and symbolisms, metaphors that speak to social issues. It seems the largest of these is the class war between the rich and the poor. Our characters are experiencing so much more than what we're seeing on the surface. You know that whole iceberg metaphor, only 20% of the icebergs can be seen from the surface, so use it to park your unsinkable ship on and such. Now, our cast is a small ensemble that stays focused on two families, the Kim family and the Park family, illustrating their sharp contrast. Big word, hard for Nick Brain to understand. Every character in this film serves a specific purpose. There are no unnecessary arcs. Instead, each character pulls you a little further down this rabbit hole, even though it's not your very merry unbirthday. We witness this talented cast bring life to this story, and while these characters are vital, the heartbeat is truly the subtle suspense in every turn with seamless execution, dragging us ever so gently. This cast deserves some kudos though, giving performances that literally cross translation and convincing us of our need for Parasite. We would list them off, but we know we would ruin it by butchering every single one of their names. Nevertheless, we applaud you, cast of Parasite. Oh, sorry, let me hit this.
Yeah!
Let us not forget the score that meshed genres as clearly as the film itself, playing to the mystery, giving moments of horror, suspense, drama, and even comedy. It's impressive when a score can make itself known while not overpowering the other elements. You know, like the fifth element, kind of. We also want to take a moment to recognize the visuals here. Every scene in this film is vital to its depiction. It's not so much the shots themselves, but the details that lie in the sets, the houses, the landscapes around them. If you pay close enough attention, you can see the story being told in the background. And the metaphors, the symbolism, the mystery. R&R strongly recommends Parasite. We know you're probably thinking what most people are.
I don't want to watch a movie where I have to read subtitles.
And to that we say, get over yourself. Stop complaining and get yourself some culture. Take a moment, broaden your horizon, and enjoy a film not riddled with Hollywood nonsense. Except for the part where they won the Academy Awards. Well guys, that's all we have for today. Looks like this quarantine may finally be seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. And we can finally get back to the theater, maybe somewhere in the not so far off but far away future. Who cares though, this is going to be a blockbuster-less summer. Well guys, until next time. Crap, I'm almost out of time. No, don't cut me off. Remember, it's a beautiful day in the...